still can't believe it. Dorso was betraying her brothers-in-arms, all in the name of saving Emerald Stair. At least she got what was coming to her. Well, yeah. But there are some lines you don't cross. Turning on your own people is one of them. You'd think that'd be an easy position to hold. But I've seen better soldiers than Dorso cross lines you can't come back from. I saw this in Rauatai's campaign in the Deadfire. You start out with purpose. You're fighting alongside your brothers and sisters, battling pirates and slavers, bringing civilization to a lawless, divided land. But then, you're breaking up villages, turning tribes against their rivals. It gets messy, fast. I'm less worried about who has a claim to the living lands than what Adir might ask of you. Same as Rauatai asked of us. Empires are hungry, Envoy, and they devour their own too. Don't let your allegiances turn you into something you can't live with. It's been years. It was always green and overgrown, but I don't remember it being quite this. You remember the first plants we met here tried to kill us, right? Something about Emerald Stair has always been unsettling. Everything in the living lands grows wild, but it's different here. Those giant roots, whatever they are, I don't remember them being quite as big or close to the settlement. Well, there's a thought to keep me up at night.
Oh, the Living Lands definitely hates us. That's why people like me even get work.
I don't like reading that much into things. Maybe that's why I'm still a bachelor.
Is that what it is? That wasn't even on my list.
Either way, when I wake up with night terrors, I'm waking you both up with me. Not a whole lot, and I've been happy keeping it that way. Playing around with essence, poking at souls, trying to move them out of and into places they shouldn't be, it makes me queasy. Though, if we're going to understand the Dream Scourge and your godlike lineage, I suppose we'll have to get comfortable with it. Still, I'm happy to leave those pursuits to other people.
Exactly. Other people. People who are a safe distance away.
Not the same way adherents do. We've got no laws against it. I've just always felt more comfortable with things I can see and grasp for myself. Then I guess it's better that you're the one with a connection to something in the beyond. I'll be here if you need me.
Look at your city! The Dream Scourge is laying waste.
I had one job, but I couldn't even do that.
Welcome back, Envoy.
The crops are ruined. All.
Can anything be done?
The Bly thinks I
Look
ought
out
to
for her,
give up
Fidelio.
Leave him.
How hard could that have been?
The Animancers are useless. You heard them arguing out there?
If I could help myself, do you think I'd be in here? I don't mean that. I have a lot on my plate. My two youngest rangers were supposed to report back from their rounds. I assumed they'd turn up. But it's been 3 days now. They're still not here. 3 times this month. They're going to be the death of me. They're besotted. I can't get them to think about anything else. Belena and Adalaro were my most promising recruits. Now, all they do is sneak off to I think they know each other very well.
Well, there's worse places to make the four-legged beast. I promise you that.
New recruits running off with each other? Oh man, this brings me back.
Anyway, I never thought they had any cause for concern. They always found their way back eventually, but they haven't this time. They're out there, all alone, and they could be in danger, and The last time I saw them, I sent them to patrol the northern riverbed. If you go that way, please, keep an eye out for them. I'm losing my mind in here.
Two young Nemdutin wandering out by a river. Consider them found.
Maybe we don't look...
Gone. Adelaro's gone. He's a dream. We're all dreams now. Sweet peonies, violets, and sardines. Hello. Are you a fish too? Oh, the sardines shimmer. They swim in silver circles.
Something's not right with her. The Dream Scourge. Is this how it starts? She's probably the ranger Fidelio told us to look out for. Oh, poor kid.
We're Belena? Maybe you're Belena. Where's Adelaro? We need him. Adelaro. His sunshine face. His midnight eyes. He has gone with the ones who seek the tree. Adelaro's face burst into violets when the dreams came. Red violets. He joined the others.
She's talking about another dream thrall. We better find him before he finds us.
She watched that happen to him. God.
A lamb taken from the flock. How do we soothe her?
Your friends speak true. They know us. Help us! Who? Oh, yes, our Lacewing Lieutenant. We will speak to him. But tell us of Adelaro first. Where is he?
If nothing else, you'll spare her from having to see it.
Find him. Give the lieutenant our badges. He swims in the bone and boar. He calls himself Fidelio. He will understand our song. But Adelaro stumbles at the mouth of the river above us. Please, help us sleep soundly.
Get out!
They're off!
Good one!
They're off!
On your left!
They're luckier than
Scurry,
they know.
hide! Someone out there? Hello?
Take your best shot. Watch yourself.
Worth it all!
Well done. You're right.
Please, I need... You're the Adiran envoy. I'm... fine. I just need a moment. I've spotted a number of your people out in the forest. Still Garot, I assume? Please, just continue on your way. I don't need your help, envoy. Neither does Fior. Fine. Sorry. Thank you. This should at least get me back to Fior. Thank you, envoy. It's possible I met the one good adherent today. Thank you again for your help.
Envoy, over here.
Good. You finally showed up. I was worried you weren't coming. The name's Keeledge. Pleasure to meet you. Hilgard sent me to Emerald Stair to keep an eye on this place. I had orders to make contact as soon as you arrived. I won't talk long. He only wants me to let you know I'm here. If you need to get word to the ambassador, I'm your man. No. They're fine. It's Ludwine's nightmare squad I'm worried about. I don't want to draw their attention. I think they're up to something. I suppose, but this seems worse than normal. I think the scale of their operation is dangerous. Understood. Many thanks, Envoy.
Be seeing you. Or not.
Oh, it's you. Leave me alone, all right? I'm not looking for trouble. Maybe, maybe not. What's it to you? Well, don't tell anyone I'm here. That damn fool Wolf with his head full of visions. When he wanted to resort to violence, I knew I had to leave. I guess you must have seen something in him I didn't. Hope your mercy doesn't come back to bite ya. I'll be all right. I don't think I'm worth the trouble for them to catch. I'll take it one day at a time. At least for now. Good luck out there.
Please tell me you found them.
Your rangers lost to the Dream Scourge. Nothing we could do.
The Dream Scourge? Here? Tell me you're joking. So it is. Gods, I saw these signs. I didn't want to believe them. They'd been acting sideways, more than just distracted from their work. I thought it was... Well, I don't have to tell you twice. I was so wrong. I think I know the answer, but is either of them still alive? Merla, when she turns, Fjord will panic. Where is she now? I don't know what to do. I can't hurt her, but I can't put Fjord at risk. I was afraid it would come to this one day. That I'd have to choose duty over... Well, maybe not. Maybe we can wait and see. In the meantime, I still have to break this to Vidaro, somehow. When people find out we have dream thralls, he'll blame the Rangers to save himself. You're right. I don't like it, but you're right. I'd better get ahead of it then. I'd rather not get on Scan's bad side. Here, you went to a lot of trouble. You ought to be paid for it. It's time for me to get out of here and actually do my job.
Looks like no one is safe from the Dream Scourge. There's nothing anyone can do.
I really do hope you can end this, Envoy.
How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The Dream Scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh my goodness. Are you a godlike? Charmed. Forgive me for staring. It's just, we don't see many of your kind anymore.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Tempers are high, but I don't see any assassins. Yet.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion. We have Gianta to thank for that.
As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Ha! Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dream Scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now, our farms. Then there's no time to waste arguing with bureaucrats.
I like her already.
I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the dream scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust Animancy as his father did.
They do. And that's the kind of reckless behavior I'm trying to avoid.
Reckless is all we have time for. Before we can deal with the Dream Scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Must be nice that all the arguing isn't about you, for once.
I'm just trying to stop Chiata from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark. You must be unfamiliar with Animancy. There's always collateral damage. Are you going to tell her about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident. But look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dream Scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart. Then we'd better do it somewhere else. Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Chiata.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Chiata Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Mesiverno.
Banished?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest Animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Chiata is an outcast.
It's a bit too soon to tell.
Governor, this is unacceptable. Your father would have kept this community together at any cost.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Mesiverno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west by the workshop.
I'll find us another bedroom.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, amiga.
Didn't go as I had planned.
What did you think would happen when you confronted him so?
Well, my first idea was to mess up his house. Maybe break a window or two.
Perhaps I should thank you for showing restraint.
I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Chiata, some manners, if you please.
I thought she was being polite.
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego. What does he know? He isn't even an Animancer.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior Mesiverno, I'm hardly even an Animancer. my tools, the workshop, all gone. Most of us would be better off without tyrannical bureaucrats. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want, on my terms. The Dream Scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long. A good question with a good answer. For now, I shouldn't bother you with the details. I have plans for this island, and they don't involve the Dream Scourge. But that's a story for another day.
Your parents would be proud to see such tenacity.
Anyway, listen to us babble. Let's talk about you. I never expected to see an Adiran envoy here. You've got a lot of guts showing your face in a town full of Animancers. It's not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. Our first order of business is the Dream Scourge, but I'm also curious about you. There aren't many godlike left these days. Indeed. Some of my colleagues would fight me for the opportunity to study you. I only bring it up because Animancy might offer us some insight into your nature. Keep an open mind. While I pack up my belongings, you can help me by... I don't even know. I just realized this is the end. I have to leave Fior Messiverno. Forever.
Some people don't find out who they really are until they leave home.
You'll be all right. My advice, find a good tavern and learn how to prepare squirrel over an open flame.
Maybe if I focus on what I have gained, I can learn to accept everything I've lost. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the Animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast. Glad to hear it. Your education should come in handy. Monto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Elia Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial, but useful. She lives in a cottage southeast of town. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fior. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name and they'll tell you what they know about the Dream Scourge. No one ever achieved the impossible without being a little unhinged. We're about to make history. But first, research.
Guessing she's not much of a hunter. Might want to get extra rations next time we go shopping.
Godlike, Imperial Envoy, Research Assistant. Who knew? Hey there. Something on your mind? I guess I'm still thinking about that woman we met in the woods. The one who was going dream thrall. Something about her reminded me of old times. War stories. Yeah. Seeing someone you know, someone close to you, beyond help like that. I just want to know, you were careful when you told her about Adelaro. Why? It probably was. Some part of her seemed to know. And even in the state she was in, she handled it. Better than most. Sorry. I need a moment to clear my head. You know, I've heard dueling is popular in the Valian republics. You wouldn't think a public argument could feel as brutal, but I'll be damned if Giada didn't draw blood. I wish I could say the same. Living Landers can be contrarian and combative. That's what sends a lot of us here in the first place. But it's still hard to swim against the tide with your own people. Especially when it means getting them to face a hard truth. You seem to have turned out okay. You and Giada, come to think of it. She knows who she is and what she believes. She's got more clarity and conviction than I had at her age.
She has more clarity than you have now.
Hey, I am a willing victim of my own delusions.
Can we just talk about something else?
Hey, don't worry. We're talking about Giada's situation.
Right. Wait, what did you think I was talking about?
Anyway, this can't be an easy time for Giada, but I'm glad to have her on our side.
Envoy? Well, that was interesting, right? The woman arguing about the crops failing? Standing up for what you believe against authority. I can respect that. Of course, my method would have been run away under the cover of night, never to return, but yeah, this works for her. It's more that I don't think my belief's worth standing up for. Life's simpler that way. Anyway, there's clearly more going on here than a bunch of animancers sitting in dusty labs doing whatever they do all day. Beyond that, nah, I can't help you. Call me when you're back to facing real danger. Right, changing the subject. Not before I've done some reading.
The Adra stirs, a crackle of light in a withered field. We had not considered this. Our roots cannot grow through their loam. We only speak to you. We wilt, we gnaw with hunger now. What has come of this place? A hand of generosity, or a gauntlet of steel? We feel them. They bend and hone the essence of the earth. They draw from our veins like a well. What are these rituals? Eons have passed. We do not recognize these strange machines. The harvest grows, the dead rise. What do they hope to achieve? Lift the shroud from the wheel. They build walls in their hearts. Why do they not share what they make? The hound cannot recognize itself. It growls at its own reflection. Should we fear it too? A fire that burns the forest feeds the soil with its ash. We have learned much. Dream of soaring wings in your repose.
Ado! Welcome to my fine establishment, Amica. Well, I was not expecting such an esteemed guest in my humble workshop. Are you in need of any weapons or armor? The roads haven't been safe as of late. Is that Gelarde? This is star metal. Very rare stuff. Where did you get this? Nay, don't tell me. I'd be tempted to go looking for some more, and that would certainly not end well. No. As tempting as that offer is, I am certain. No. Unfortunately, I don't know how to work the metal into anything useful. Only enchanted. I did receive a shipment from Sola's Keep recently, however. A mace crafted out of star metal, brought to me by a trader from Galloway's Tusks. I suggest you make your way there if you're looking for someone to work that beautiful metal into a proper weapon.
Galloway's Tusks? Come on, it can't be that complicated. I bet you 5 skates a Smith and Thirdborn would know what to do with this stuff. And I'll take your money, eventually.
Is there anything else I can help you with, Amica? Ado! Welcome to my fine establishment, Amica.
Confounded machine. Oh, I heard there was a new arrival, but I didn't expect a godlike. Welcome to our modest workshop. Giada, what a loss. I owe that young woman more than I could ever repay. Unfortunately, I cannot do a lick of research while my equipment is underpowered and overworked. Yes, her theory of the Dream Scourge, I'm quite familiar. What I need is a stronger power source. Grimoires can hold intense power, but not for long. Besides, grimoires require a wizard to draw in essence. It's too dangerous at this scale. Oh, wait. One of our rangers reported that an Adragon recently died in a western grove. Indeed, but that well is almost dry. I need more. An Adragon's heart can hold an immense amount of essence. The grove is to the west, across the chasm. You can't miss it. The rangers say a Delamgan queen holds court there. You may be able to retrieve it without violence, but most Delamgan in these parts are hostile to Keith. So you can understand why none of us went rushing over there to find it when we heard the Adragon had died. Still, Delamgan queens can be reasoned with, so if you want to get the heart peacefully, try not to kill her guards. Do be careful. Emerald Stair is not itself these days.
Convince her to hand it over, I'll be more than impressed.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, Raimika.
Let's go. You're mine now.
Croak! Croak 10! Croak 10! Worth that rough!
Look to the left.
Worth that rough!
Left way.
Croak 10! All of them! Beyond 6!
Nothing's stopping me. Let's see what you got.
Worth that rough!
Are those roots tearing the bridge apart, or holding it together?
Ice forward, Envoy. It's a long way down.
10!
Is that all you got?
Worse than rough! Roar 10! Worse than rough!
Think the Delimgon did all that? Or maybe the land itself?
May approach me. Ah, a welcome visitor. It has been so long since one of your kind has walked in this grove. We are both of this land. So we both speak the language of this land. But why have you come here? A curious thing for Kith to want. Even one as special as you. It belonged to one who tended this grove for longer than I have been here. Sickness changed them, as it has recently changed so many creatures in these woods. It no longer recognized us as their kin. We had to stop them before their madness damaged the land. But it is over now. All that remains is their heart. Our kind has no need for such remembrances. It would cause us no pain to part with it. Take it, and go in peace.
I can't believe you pulled that off. Now, let's get out of here before she notices my wood pistol grip.
an Adiran, you're very resourceful, and a more than capable companion for poor Giada. Very few, save for old Quilici, and he's like a father. Now that I've got the heart, my thirsty invention will drink deeply of its essence. All that's left to do is calibrate it. First things first, let's have a look at your soul. I'm going to ask some questions to induce a metaphysical quiver. No, not to worry, just testing your reflexes. Let's start with an easy one. You wake up on a beach, looking up into the sun. Your hands are covered in blood. All right. Let's try some word association. Tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Pendulum. Chrysalis.
A spark ignites a flame. An idea ignites a war.
Hello? You still with me? In that case, let's stop it before I do any lasting damage. Hey, let's go over your results. Your soul is like a piece of sea glass. All the edges are smoothed down. Quite beautiful, really. Your godlike nature is a marvel to behold. Usually, all it takes is a mirror. Not my area of expertise, I'm afraid. What I see is something entangled about your soul. An outside presence that both is and isn't a part of you. It's old, dark, and rather tricky to pin down. Very interesting. That would be closer to Giata's area of expertise. I'm sure she'd love to give you a look. Fascinating. Thank you for getting my machine calibrated again. But you came for Giata's theory of the Dream Scourge. Between the two of us, she's on to something. Our farms are in great peril. The essence has been drained from the land, diverted, like the flow of a river. Exactly. And if I know essence, it can't have gone too far. All I can tell you is keep looking. You'll find what you're after. As much as I hate giving people bad news, that's all I have. Please give Giata my fondest regards.
Keep looking, huh? I'm getting a bad feeling about what we'll find.
I'll be honest. He lost me when he started talking about souls. What did I miss?
Ado, welcome to my fine...
Envoy, a pleasure as always. Giata Castel wants my professional opinion. What an honor! I have a few theories, but no firm conclusions. I have to ask, is it true? Did Vidaro kick her out of town? That's our governor for you. Self-righteous even in his own ignorance. Very well. I'll tell you what I know about the Dream Scourge. But first, I need some help around the farm. I'm up to my ears in chores around here, and the Revenants can only do so much. They can't do complicated tasks, you see. Anyway, I'm afraid the time has come to put down poor Silvo. Yes, quickly and mercifully if you can. Silvo is one of my Revenants. My oldest, my favorite, and the pride of my flock. Someone needs to put the poor fellow out to pasture. And I just don't have the heart to do it myself.
Well, it's already dead. That's the hard part done right there.
When a Revenant goes bad, there's only one option. Final death. And poor Silvo's time has come. Whether you're raising cows or corpses, every farmer lives with death. Silvo is on a strict diet, but I suppose he could have gotten into the crops when my back was turned. You never know with these rascals. Outsiders and travelers down on their luck. You'd be surprised how many people want to sell their bodies to Animancy.
Say what you will about mercenary and military life. At least your obligations end at death.
Anyone else see a downside to giving monetary value to corpses?
This is a good forever home for the undead. Better than some crypt, anyway. But sometimes we have bad days. Really? Oh, I've always wanted a godlike for the stables. Dear, you've made me a very happy Animancer.
Make sure she doesn't try to collect till after your death.
I'm not dragging your corpse back here from some ancient ruin, I'll tell you that.
Once you've dealt with Silvo, we can finalize the arrangements. And that should cover everything. You can find Silvo in the barn. He's blocked the door somehow, but the window should be open. Just be gentle with him. He's a good boy.
So, we're killing a Revenant then? She just couldn't come out and say that?
And this is why I don't take pets.
Quiet, Nimdut.
Worth that right!
One for you! We make a good squad.
My farmhands are very affectionate. Feel free to pet them if you like. Poor Silvo. He was a bright young Revenant, but a very old man. Thank you for giving him peace. Well, he was my first successful raising. Flawed and messy, but mine. So, the Dream Scourge. I've been keeping an eye on the readings from my fields. This plague, as we know it, is a recent development. But I believe whatever causes it is older by far. Maybe even as old as the living lands. The exotic plants and animals, the twisted landscape, the Dream Scourge. They have a common ancestor. There's something about the essence in the living lands that's different from anywhere else I've seen. It's possible, but we don't share research if we can avoid it. That's one of the reasons I moved out here. The other reason being my corpses. They don't enjoy living behind walls, if you can call it living. Not to get too superstitious, but in these troubled times, the arrival of a godlike is no coincidence. You are meant to be here. Toward what end, only you can say. Well, I'm happy to give her some good news for a change. You and Giat are going to shake things up. As for me, I'll be keeping a close eye on my flock. Before I forget, here's a down payment on your body. And here's your collar. Try not to lose it. I'm paying you to make the most out of this life. So go have a good one. You're going to love it here. Hopefully not for a while, though.
Great. Now I have to add to my list of idiotic ideas.
Let's hope we steer clear of assassins for the time being.
The great mystery is... Yvette, look what I found! A genuine godlike.
Oh my gods, Remy, it's finally happening.
Do you think they can hear us?
Let's find out. Hello, me, Yvette. You friend? Remy, take a note. Fluent speech and upright posture show marks of sophistication in the endangered godlike. We heard that Giada partnered up with an outsider, but I had no idea you were a godlike. Fascinating.
I suppose we owe her a favor. Or two.
Giada must have sent you to be our test subject. She knows how we adore your kind. Satisfy our curiosity and we'll give you everything Giada needs to finish her research. Deal? We want to know about the godlike, of course. You're the first one we've encountered in the wild.
Let's begin the examination. If you could choose, who or what would you be in your next life? Next time you go around the wheel, you might not get so lucky. Forget what I think. Let's keep the focus on you. Tired of being remarkable? Interesting.
My turn. Some would call you blessed. Others would call you cursed. The fact remains, you were touched by the gods. Wouldn't you say that you owe something to the rest of us? Weren't you?
Oh, I thought of another. We all know that godlike can't reproduce. How do you plan on leaving a legacy after you're gone? Well, there's no reason to be rude. I think that covers everything. Thank you for that brilliant insight, godlike. You're a credit to your dwindling kind.
So, Giada wants to know all about the Dream Scourge, yes? Such has been her research of late. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
There's no cure for the Dream Scourge, much in the way that there's no cure for an avalanche.
Giada will be interested to learn that the Dream Scourge cannot just be studied in a lab. Its nature is wild, so it has to be studied in the wild. Our machines and experiments would meddle with it too much.
And like anything affecting the soul, it must be connected to essence. Thus, if she wishes to discover more about the Dream Scourge, a Pillar of Adra would be a good place to start.
Precisely. A godlike and a scholar, too. Incredible.
Indeed. Just as Adra channels essence, so too may it provide a key to discovering more about the Dream Scourge.
Not that we'd ever be interested in such research, of course. How droll. An entity, you say? If this entity is your patron, that's all perfectly natural. But if it's something else, with enough essence and a capable Animancer, perhaps you could trace this tether back to its source.
Right, and with a little fresh sake, you can follow an ogre back to its lair. Still wouldn't recommend it.
Just be careful that your tether doesn't snap back and kill you in the process.
Now that we've researched the mind of a godlike, the next step is anatomy. But we've taken enough of your time. Farewell.
Hurry, before they change their minds.
Into exile.
Ugh, I might have dozed off there for a bit. Were any of those words the ones we needed?
I have a lot of packing ahead of me, but I've earned a short rest. Good timing. I'm about ready to get started. So, did you learn anything of particular interest? Makes sense. You won't find a better source of energy. Look at us. Barely even started, and already we're making progress. Monto's machine is working, Elia will keep an eye on her revenants, and Yvette and Remy are providing us an alibi. I needed those Animancers for more than their expertise. Monto's invention nullifies spiritual interference. Having it up and running means we won't get any false signals. Whenever I tap into an Adra pillar, Elia's farmhands tend to get a little bitey. Thanks to you, they won't be a problem. And then there's Yvette and Remy, the governor's eyes and ears. In exchange for privacy, I gave them a test subject. I'd call that a good day's work. Absolutely. I wanted to see the Dream Scourge through different perspectives. Thanks to you, I have. Now we just need the right equipment for the job. When my parents died, they left me their life's work. An invention like no other. The phantasmal focus. Exactly. There are many ways of going about it, but my mother's invention will get us quick results. The problem is it's in the basement. I haven't gone down there since the accident. Since they died.
I'm sure everything's fine. It's just a spooky death basement.
I would get it myself, but I'm not ready to face what's down there. Right now, I would rather focus on the work ahead of us. The door to the basement is just outside, around the corner. Of course you'll need a key. Please excuse the mess.
If that's where her parents died, I'm glad we can spare them having to go back.
Okay, walking into the basement of an Animancer I just met. Right, feels great. I feel pretty certain that those people aren't supposed to be plants.
What a horrific fate.
Gods. We can leave now, right?
Poor Giada. To think she's been living with this right under her nose.
I don't. Anyone know what happened back there?
I think those were Giada's parents, or whatever's left of them.
So they're dead?
Or something like that.
Gods, I can't believe this.
You're back. You found it. You actually found my inheritance. Did you see my mother and father? Are they still there? For the time being, that would be best. With the phantasmal focus, I can finally tap directly into the essence of the living lands. I can also use it to smack around anyone who gets in our way. The only thing we're missing now is an Adra pillar, and I know the perfect one. Naku Tedek, the old godless ruin west of Fjord. There should be some equipment waiting for us. That rugged thing? It's as dry as a bone. Hardly any essence left. Even if it wasn't, I'm not exactly welcome in the workshop these days. We used it to study the Adra pillar. Then some priests moved in and took offense at our work. I hope they haven't tampered with the equipment, or this will be a very short experiment. That's your intuition talking. Listen to it. I wouldn't be anywhere without mine. Before we head out, let's make the most of our time in Fjord. No telling how long we'll be gone. And I hate to be a problem, but I do my best work in small groups. Chalk it up to performance anxiety. That was not my finest hour. I was so angry. Mistakes were made. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, I don't want there to be any mistakes. Works for me. This is a good opportunity to cleanse our place of rest. Spiritually, I mean. Ah, I love Fior Messiverno, even when I hate it. I hope...
Envoy? Hard to imagine what Giada's going through right now, with her parents and all that. I mean, I have no idea what actually happened there, but she lost her people. She'll need time to get past that. And she deserves it. Right, changing the subject? Right. I'm sure you'll find it absolutely gripping. Go ahead. I'll tell you whatever you want to know. As you know, Kai and I have worked together in the past. It's a blessed miracle he never got me killed. Honestly, he's a good guy. A bit too quick to ask questions for my taste, but... Kai's good enough. Tell him I said that I'll cut a hole in your water skins. Pleasant dreams.
I wish you could have seen Emerald Stair in better times. Thank you again for letting me join you. An Animancer never misses an opportunity to embrace the unknown. Still, being an Animancer feels different without Fior Messiverno. For the first time, I don't have to prove myself to anyone. It'll take some getting used to, that's for sure. At least now I have a place I can call my own. Such a troublemaker. But a thoughtful one. Not to change the topic, but this little adventure of ours, will it be dangerous? Just making sure I know what I signed up for. My mother and father taught me how to defend myself, among other things. When you need me, I'll be ready. I hope so, anyway. What do you want to know? That little island off of Dawnshore? None that I know of. Ignato Casto led the Valian trading company in the Deadfire Archipelago. Among other things, he invested in the future of Animancy, and apparently he had interests here. He had some ideas about moving great distances in the blink of an eye. As far as I know, he was unsuccessful. Animancy and ambition are a dangerous mixture. Intoxicating, but dangerous. I hope not. I wouldn't want my family associated with speculation, corruption, and whatever else happened in the Deadfire. We have enough problems already. Afraid not. I've heard a lot of contradictory stories coming out of the Deadfire in recent years. Some say Castle is still in power, while others think his second-in-command took over the Valiant Trading Company. You know how it is. Wherever there's conflict, there's bound to be misinformation. Unfortunately, that's all I know. Whether or not Castle succeeded, I don't think it's folly to dream. Now that you mention it, I did try and awaken my soul to become fully aware of my past lives. Every Animancer tries and fails. It's practically a rite of passage. So, one evening, I crept into the workshop and cobbled an invention together from spare parts. Amateur work. Then I turned it on. Big mistake. The next thing I knew, it was morning. I was floating in the fountain, and my head was pounding like a drum.
You don't need Animancy for that. Just rum and a crew on shore leave.
That answers a lot of questions, honestly.
Sometimes I wonder, what if it actually worked? What if all of this happened before, and I'm just reliving the events of a past life? I try not to think about it too much. Ah, a simple question with a very complicated answer. The device is attuned to the spiritual energy of the living lands, much like a compass to magnetic north. But essence is chaotic by nature. As you saw with your own eyes, imposing order on chaos is not without risk. Indeed. Don't get me wrong, this invention is a small miracle, but it isn't enough. The phantasmal focus was supposed to be the start of something grand, one lever of a device that exists only in theory. Perhaps it should remain that way. I suppose you deserve to know, after what I put you through. My mother wanted to expand Fiore's agriculture. Feeding Emerald Stair wasn't ambitious enough. She wanted to feed the world. She thought she could break the wilderness, using Animancy as the whip. Turn the living lands into a garden. You wouldn't be the first to think so. After my father put the finishing touches on the phantasmal focus, she was impatient to get started. After all, whoever controls the spirit of the living lands has nature in the palm of their hand. Indeed, a world run by Animancy. Emerald Stair was just the beginning to her. My father thought she was brilliant. Others thought she was mad. I think she was a victim of her own ambition. She wanted so much, and there was so little time to achieve it. Theoretically, her plan should have worked. But the living lands had other ideas. When she used the phantasmal focus, theory collided with reality. Everything went wrong. I was 17. That makes it... Gods, has it been 13 years already? After they died, I wouldn't go near a lab. It was ages before Quilici got me to crack open a book. I have a lot of catching up to do in my studies. Need to make up for lost time. My mother and father didn't know the risks, and I can't stop thinking about them. Caution and experience will stop us from repeating their mistakes. Don't worry. I've lived with it for a while now. I thought my family's research could help Emerald Stair. That it could banish the Dream Scourge from our lands. Of course, Vidaro wouldn't even give me a chance. He was afraid of history repeating itself. Still, I'm hopeful. This legacy of mine could change Animancy as we know it. And something tells me I'm close to a breakthrough. Closer than my mother ever got. I hardly think your Emperor would approve. Good thing he's on the other side of the world. No Animancer has engineered an ecosystem before. Maybe, with a little luck, I could be the first. Thanks for talking. Kai, have you ever met a marine godlike? One of Andra's children?
Ngati's children. As they're called. They're called in Deadfire. I've heard stories, but never met one. They're rare everywhere, but revered among the Wana.
I've always... wanted to study one up close, but I can't believe it. Ranger Dorsal, a traitor to Fior Messiverno. Shame we had to kill her. But at least now she can't hurt anyone else. The damage is contained, more or less. I'm glad you think so. Still, it's a shame. Dorso gave up on the dream of Fior Messiverno. Blamed Animancers for the problems we tried to solve. And I hate to see anyone lose hope. That's all for now. Let me know if there's anything else. Not before I've done some reading. Between the two of us, thank you for helping Yatsli reach that vase. Maybe it seems like nothing to you, but to her it's everything. When you consider how many Orlans and dwarves there are, it's outrageous that we build so high off the ground. What a pain. Don't let her size fool you. On the inside, Yatsli stands as tall as a mountain. One of these days she's going to change the world, shake things up. And I'll be at her side, grinning like a fool. Anyway, thanks again. Thanks for talking.
Did they not glow in the light? Her parents, her sentinels. to grow and flourish still, life without rot, form without death. The lake dries. Prune the bellflowers. Why should anything wilt? Endless spring. They breathe. They flower. They will never fade. Is the acorn not beloved of the oak? We merely ponder. They sing in peace. Was it not worth the change? Do we not? The bear would have spent its days in the wood. They are strong now, vibrant, better than their frail shells. More than alive. No suffering. No end. Sleep now. Dream of beauty and new life. We will speak soon.
Didn't that cartographer's letter say she was near Naku Tedek?
Naku Tedek is a place of spiritual power. We're sure to find the answers we seek.
Why do they call it that anyway?
Good question.
Hey!
It means
You there?
ancient
Need
soil.
some supplies?
Naku Tedek was old when these...
Salutations, traveler. Welcome to lovely Naku Tedek. It's seen better times, but it's still a marvel of ancient architecture. Oh, but I forget myself. I'm Alyssa, a wanderer and explorer, and sometimes even a merchant. Like now. Care to see my wares? Yeah, I get it. Truth be told, I'm mainly here to study the ruins. Nothing wrong with picking up some profits on the side, though, huh? Between spare supplies and interesting finds, I've got a few things that I wouldn't mind parting with. That being said, care to see what I have?
We usually bring our dead to Nakutadek. But for you, I'll make an exception.
This is a spiritual haven. Could we remove the Animancy equipment, please? Take it up to the governor. But he told me to ask you. In the case,
One of your machines shocked me. I wasn't even anywhere near it.
Were you wearing anything made of copper? A ring, maybe?
What?
Well, there are worse places to go.
Hear me, Paradis. Did we not come here to escape the Empire? Do the Aterians not exemplify everything we hate?
You're back. What have you found?
You have our condolences, Master Cartographer. The beauty of Emerald Stair hides the danger at its heart.
Fletcher! Oh, I was sure she would be safe. Her maps were so meticulous. She even made her own ink. Please, keep searching. I'm sure the others will turn up soon. I don't think my assistants are hiding in there.
Looking for something?
My shop is in here, Envoy.
Could we not just move the machines out of the way? If you've come to Naku to deck for a funeral, I'm afraid you're late. Or early, perhaps?
We're actually here to conduct some research.
I see. Well, do remember that this is a holy site, and others may be meditating. For an acolyte of Berith, there is no higher honor than the giving of last rites. Naku Tedek dates back to ancient times. It was, and remains, a mausoleum of the soul. Unfortunately, godless ruins have a strong connection to the other side. They attract unwanted attention. Wherever there's an Adra pillar, you can count on animancers circling it like flies.
An unflattering but not unfair comparison.
When my order first heard of this place, they sent us overseas to guide wayward souls into their next life. Strange. I don't think so. Death is the most ordinary thing in the world, second only to life. Reincarnation is not a perfect system. The flaws and inefficiencies are why the field of Animancy exists at all. So, in accordance with Berith, we are midwives of a different labor, life into death. Of course, when your time comes, I hope you remember this place.
Even death is a logical system, full of rules made to be broken.
Here's hoping none of us meet Berith anytime soon.
There should be some equipment by the Adra pillar.
We remember these walls. Yes, we have been here.
Please, my friend. You can take what you want from the shrine. Just don't break anything. So he was working alone. Forgive me. These are difficult times for a man of faith. While I was at prayer, a bandit held a knife to my throat. and stole the reliquary of Saint Widwin. Just look at me. Gods, I'm still shaking. He was. The war ended years ago, yet still the scars remain. Maybe the gods have abandoned the living lands, or maybe they've abandoned me. Well, if the gods are silent, I'll take their messenger. He fled west into the wilderness. There's nothing there but a Delimgan glade. If you find him, please, no more bloodshed. Vengeance will not make this right. Most of my faithful brethren became acolytes of Berith, but she is not the only god who embodies the cycle of life. This is where souls return to the living lands. Can't you feel it? This is a place of power. Stay a while. Perhaps it will speak to you. May the light shine on you. May it shine on the thief as well. I will try to understand his motives.
This doesn't sound like any of the grave robbers I know. Not that I know any grave robbers.
A saint's relic. Where would you even fence something like that? Quiet as the depths.
Come on! Come all!
I'm no expert, but that looks like poison.
Welcome back. I hope the wilderness gave you safe passage. May I help you? You did! To think a godlike would deliver this back to me. I feel blessed, truly. Wherever he is, Eothas smiles on you. Wait, are you suggesting he stole it for some purpose? Accusing Eothas of murder? How could you say such a thing? I'd heard the rumors that he walked among us, but to think the God of Light could be to blame for such horrors? No, it's beyond belief.
Agents of violence. They cloak themselves in warmth and light and spread like wildfire.
Challenge is one thing. Slander is something else entirely. Then why do we worship them? What do they give us if not qualities to aspire to? I find myself lost, godlike. I look at this relic now and I wonder whether all my years of service were a waste. I pity my own suffering when I should learn from it instead. I'll pray for the thief's absolution. If not in this life, then maybe the next. Thank you for telling me all this.
That was a very generous diversion. But we have work to do. Well, here we are on the precipice of discovery. Armed and ready for mischief.
I'm 2 out of 3 anyway.
Before we get started, indulge me. What are you excited to learn about? We'll get to that and more, I promise. Now, I'm going to tap into the pillar's dormant energy and give it a good shake. In layman's terms, I'm chumming the water and daring the Dream Scourge to show its ugly face. No, but it should get us results. All right. Drawing on the energy of the phantasmal focus, I'll start with a low-frequency ethereal vibration. I've got nothing. You?
Like I could go for some pie.
Shit. All right, adjusting the frequency. The focus is warming up. I hope that's a good sign. Let me know if you feel something. Who knows how your godlike nature will react to this. Brace yourself. We're going to pin this bastard down.
Are you sure about this?
Don't worry, I'm a professional. Now, here goes nothing.
Souls in a circle, a whirlpool. We twine, we twine.
Hey, I think I got something. The focus twitched, like a fishing rod. Is that a door? Not the result I was looking for, but a result nonetheless. Hold on to that feeling. We might need it again. Right before the door opened, I detected something in the Adra. I was right. The Dream Scourge has a point of origin. We can study the affliction from here, but I don't know that we can stop it. We can discuss our feelings later. Right now, I need answers. If we want to stop the Dream Scourge, we still need to learn more about the source of the affliction. I hate to say it, but we'll get better results at the base of the pillar, where the energies are more potent. Trap or no trap, I didn't come all this way just to give up. After you.
But we gotta see what's down there now.
Gods! Did you open that door?
I did not bring us here to explore, but clearly something wants to be found.
Does this feel like the start of a cautionary campfire tale to anyone else?
I wonder, did you open the door? Or did the door open for you? Incredible. These ruins are untouched. We are the first to disturb them. When was the last time anyone walked these passages? It must have been centuries. No, millennia. They're coming!
Show me what you got!
Worse than rough!
10!
Well I can start that generator for you. Just say the word. A little power goes a long way. Charge it up.
No! The knife that pierces in the dark.
Whatever this is, at least it's dead. 2 points for the godless, none for the abominations.
Worth that rock! Worth that rock!
Watch your head. There's a trap right above it. Subtle as a mouse.
Beyond sync! Croak 10! Croak 10! Beyond sync! Another will be unsafe! Uluthen! Croak 10!
Ready for more.
I would not go swimming if I were you, unless you wish to meet your maker. There must be a way across. If not underwater, perhaps over it, with the help of some ice.
Worth that rock! Worth that rock!
A little power goes a long way. Just a little spark. What in the name of Aora is that?
You, think it's sleeping?
I've never seen anything like it before. We're going to die down here, aren't we? Well, we had a good run.
Ulthen! Roaten! Worth it, roll! Roaten!
Hey! Over here!
I'll fix this.
Worth it, roll!
Next one's mine!
Beyonce! Ulthen!
Watch the left!
Coming from the left!
Roaten! Worth it, roll!
Right flank!
Gather round! Good shooting, Kai.
They're having fun. Ready to make an entrance?
How did they even get down here? Clever things must have their own. Looks like quite a...
Roaten!
On your right!
On your right!
for you!
Go 10!
Come on! Come on!
We're fit rough! It burns! Crow 10! We're set rough!
Gather round! If there are any monsters left, show yourselves. Some of us have work to do. I guess that means the coast is clear. Let's have a look at the Adra pillar. We've backed the Dream Scourge into a corner. I say we pin it down here and now, before it wriggles away from us. The equipment was compensating for a poor connection to the Beyond. Here, we won't have that problem. The last time we tried this, you felt something, yes? Maybe it had to do with your godlike nature. Try making contact with the Adra this time. It could only help. The effect should be stronger than before. Brace yourself.
You are here. You who bring us kind words and soothing thoughts. We welcome you. The mourners are gone now. Only the memories remain. Lonely, yes. None have asked after us in so long. We open to you as a bud before the sun. We once belonged to the green and the wild. A people lived there once. They loved us as we loved them. They brought their dead to us. We used to dip our fingers, wade in the confluence of souls. We are the heart in the soil, the lungs. We dream, the land stirs. We become. They brought their prayers to us. We answered. We do not remember how we grew. Our eyes opened. We were the earth, the sky, many into a whole. We touched the mountains and they molded to our fingerprints. The Akita twined around us. They sang in awe of what we made. They called us the Gardener, Steward of Life. Sabadal. We offer you connection, root to branch, and you return to us with suspicion. Our spark found you when you dreamed in the womb. Godlike, they said. But we have felt in you the seed of connection. We have sought you, called to you. And you reach back. We have not known the joy of companionship in so long. Rot, we feel it too. Our hands are bound. Find us, free us. The rot that festers seeps into us as well. Our cage is far from here, buried in the garden, beyond the poison sea. Would that we knew. Our jailers gave us no explanation. But perhaps the ancients who were beloved to us, perhaps they can quiet the questions in your mind. Go to the halls of the Tabaru Sinakis. We will try to explain. Those who cherish us, the chosen of the Akida, wait there. They will show you the way to the garden, to our prison. We will cleanse this rot with you once our hands are unbound. Find us in the garden. We twine, we await. First, let us offer you a sliver of our power, a boon to help you survive and find us. Will you accept it? We offer you gifts any would covet, and you search them for rot? You are our kin, the seed of our soul. We would see you avoid our fate. We would see you survive. Take it with our blessing. Now hurry to the halls of the Tabaru Sinakis. Bind us. Free us.
You're awake. Finally. We really pushed the phantasmal focus to its limits.
You were out a long time. We gotta start bringing pillows.
For a second there, I thought... Actually, never mind what I thought. Actually, I thought your soul had been blasted to 1,000 pieces. But I'm happy to be proven wrong. While you were out, I got some clear readings of the Dream Scourge. I've tracked its origin to the center of the living lands, somewhere deep in the untouched wilderness. You've heard of it. Fascinating. Maybe someone knows about this garden of yours. If we find the garden, we can cut off the Dream Scourge at its source. I hesitate to bring it up, but you were muttering while you were out. Had quite a lot to say. Whatever you were communing with, it had a spiritual energy I've encountered before, though only in traces. It must be connected to the Dream Scourge. Perhaps they share a similar origin. Yes, Sapadal. Who are they? What are they to you? Excuse me? Sapadal is a god? But that's impossible. How could we have missed this? A trapped god. Trapped. And you spoke to them through the Adra. Maybe that tells us something. Perhaps the bars of their prison would be forged of essence, not iron. We've long theorized that all Adra is connected, but that changed when Animancers came to the Living Lands. The Adra here is severed from the rest of Eora, connected only to itself, or so we believe. If Sapadal speaks and works through Adra, then the Living Lands is their prison, their tomb. You could be right, but we have no way of knowing for certain. Not yet, anyway. We know the Dream Scourge is coming from this garden of yours. Maybe Sapadal can help us fight it.
I got a headache just thinking about it, and I'm not the one with the god knocking around in there.
The real question is, where do I start?
Welcome to the crew.
Thank you. I've been working on my own for so long that I'm not accustomed to sharing the burden. We'll find the source of the Dream Scourge in the garden, but we have to find the garden first.
Then that's where we start.
Let's return to Fior Mesiverno. Banished or not, maybe I can squeeze a few answers out of my colleagues. Gods, I don't know. The farms, the community, my research, they all depend on Animancy. But the Dream Scourge is the end of Animancy, the end of the Living Lands as we know it. We should leave this place and its memories. There's nothing more for us here.
Finding a secret entrance and discovering a new god. Not bad for a day's work.
Wait. We smell the musk of war. We hear the clash of steel. No. In the distance. They fade now. Was it a dream?
I lost you for a second there. Something the matter? Oh no. Let's go. You take the lead.
Come on. There's a way up those stairs.
There is such a thing as learning too much. The mortal mind can only take so many revelations at a time. Oh my god. No!
Andra's depths. This was no accident.
What happened? Who did this? The city's under attack. Come, there isn't a moment to waste. We won't learn anything standing here. I just hope Quilici is all right.
Something. Doesn't look like a ship, but let's make sure no one's hurt.
I can't believe this. All things considered, Fior Messiverno looks undamaged. Surprising, when you consider the state of our defenses. Whoever started this fight didn't come prepared to finish it. I will be happy to oblige them. Someone made a dangerous enemy today.
We'll fight them with you, Giada.
They break, they bind us.
I hope everyone is all right. My people settled these lands in the name of freedom. It took 50 years, but our oppressors caught up to us. I hate living in interesting times.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Again and again they strike.
Kai, weapons ready.
Oh, no, you don't! Armor's too weak here.
There's the city. Thank goodness. It's good to see home again. If only for a moment. Soon the Rangers will strengthen their defenses. They'll hunt down anyone behind the attack. Let's finish this.
Take your best shot. Who's ready for more? Those bodies are wearing steel garrote armor. Is this what Alfir was planning?
Envoy, over here. I see you avoided the carnage. A few of your countrymen, well, let's say they didn't know any better.
You may have beaten us today, but it's only a matter of time before Emerald Stair bends the knee.
Shut up already. Since the two of you are kin, I thought maybe you could help squeeze some information out of him. Good point. I'll just bring the masked warlord who answers to no one in for questioning. That isn't going to happen. We caught this one alive, so any justice we mete out will be on his head. What we know is this. The Steel Garrote marched on Emerald Stair. We're pretty sure they wanted to set us to the torch.
And you taught them the error of their ways. Well done.
Just doing my job, same as you. What I don't understand is why they came unprepared. few soldiers, and even fewer supplies. If the Steel Garrote wanted to start a fire, they sure didn't pack a lot of firepower.
That was you?
Well, that's one question down. I'm sure the governor will want to thank you himself. As for our friend here...
It doesn't matter what you do to me. The living lands will be brought to heel.
Now listen, I am a patient man. But if you don't give us some answers, the envoy here is going to rip you in half. You know I was bluffing, don't you? I'm not looking forward to cleaning up the mess. So you can help me by telling us what we want to know.
Your threats are wasted, cur. I have nothing to hide. Inquisitor Ludwig gave the order to march on Fior Mesiverno. Of course not. Hilgard lacks the spine to make the hard calls. Emerald stares on the precipice of disaster. Crops have failed, the townsfolk are defiant, and it's only gotten worse.
I fail to see how attacking my city helps the situation.
The coast is the only habitable corner in the living lands. We can unite as one people, or let the wilderness take us. What choice do we have? Tradition led this place to its doom. Better that it burn, and the people start again.
That is, without a doubt, the worst justification for a war crime that I have ever heard.
Speaking from experience, people don't usually unite as one after you've attacked their home.
Ludwig tried to hasten the inevitable. Nothing more.
Ah, now that is what I call a thorough confession. What do you want to do with him? As an adherent, I trust you know how to handle it by the book.
Violence is the language of the Steel Garrote. Nothing less will get through to them.
I say throw back the little ones if they're not in a position to do more harm. Besides, he's probably more scared of what'll happen if you don't kill him.
Your call, envoy. I will see to it myself. Too bad the road to Paradise is in bad shape. Our wagon might hit a bump or two.
As much as I want to rip his soul apart, maybe he's more useful to us alive.
But you can't send me back to Ludwig. Don't you know what she does to people who fail her?
I can't wait to find out. See you around, envoy. Thanks again.
Fate worse than death, perhaps. But fate nonetheless.
Good call. He's Ludwig's problem. Not worth getting your hands dirty.
Envoy, I owe you my gratitude, and perhaps an apology. They tell me you're the reason our city is standing. You took care of the Steel Garrote before they could cause any serious damage. I can't imagine what it cost you to stand up to the likes of the Steel Garrote, but we won't forget it.
No doubt your Inquisitor is aware of what happened here. You've made a powerful enemy.
We're a long way from Adir. You might find allies in short supply. As for us, we're still standing, but our enemies have little patience for failure.
We agree on one thing. The Steel Garrote
have declared war on the living lands.
That sort of thinking is precisely why my father fled the Valen republics.
What happened here is no coincidence. Their forces already have an unshakable grip on Paradis. Today marks a notable victory, but we've only bought ourselves time, not salvation. Tell us, what of your research into the Dream Scourge? Assuming our governor wants to hear it.
I may have spoken in haste before.
Pardon?
The very notion that the Dream Scourge had blighted our farms, it was too awful to acknowledge.
Are you being serious right now?
I am. The sanctuary my family built was falling apart on my watch, and I wasn't strong enough to bear it. Not for me, perhaps. You must understand. My mother is the Dream Scourge. I hoped against reason that she might recover, but her mind grew as blighted as her lands. To face reality would mean upending my city, throwing order into chaos, and admitting she was truly gone. I'm so sorry, Giatta.
Don't waste your apologies on me. This changes nothing between us.
I don't expect your forgiveness, but I will do everything in my power to make this right. Whatever you have to say, I'm ready to hear it.
You want me to do the talking? Very well. The evidence is clear. The Living Lands is on the edge of an ecological disaster, both physically and spiritually. We may know the origin of the Dream Scourge. By following it back to the source, perhaps we can reverse the damage. Now for the bad news. An undiscovered god rests in the heart of this island. Until we know more about its nature, we are powerless to stop it.
But this is madness. When I said I was ready for the truth, I didn't mean... Quilici, tell her, it's madness.
Envoy, is it true?
You truly think you can find a god? I said I'd keep an open mind, but this is a bit much.
First the Dream Scourge, then the Steel Garrote, and now, what does this god of yours want us to do? Pray?
This is no time for a theological discussion. Our survival hangs on a knife's edge. We can't remain in Emerald Stair.
But we can return someday. Rebuild your father's legacy. We should relocate to Thirdborn. It's the only settlement that can take us all.
No. I say we go to Paradis.
And I want an explanation.
As long as we are Animancers, the adherents will pursue us to the ends of the earth. Instead, we lay low, hide in plain sight, let them believe we're beaten, and bide our time.
While we hide, the Dream Scourge will tear this island apart. At least in Thirdborn, we can practice Animancy freely. We can't gamble with our existence. The political climate of the Living Lands is too dangerous.
Thirdborn has its own problems. Paradis is more secure, but it would mean living under Adiran rule. I don't like our options, but that shouldn't stop us from committing to one.
Thirdborn's full of hardy types. Lots of former soldiers and mercenaries. A rough bunch, but good to have at your back. It's also farther from the Steel Garrote's base of operations. That's where I'd make my stand.
We'll be proud to lend our strength to theirs, as Animancers and as fellow expatriates.
I have my misgivings, but you helped my father leave the Republics. I trust you to help us again. What of you, Envoy? Where does the hunt for the Dream Scourge take you next?
Oh, I do.
Yardsley? Don't tell me you are getting swept up in all of this.
Oh, really? You should know better, darling. Any talk of the Akita, and I will appear. If you're looking for the garden, I can probably lead the way. You're already aware that I'm the foremost Akitan scholar in the Living Lands, and...
Godless scholar, my dear. No one outside of academia uses their proper name.
Ah, right. Layman's terms. Thank you, darling. Well, to make a long story short, I think I can lead you to the garden. 30 years of research, and I think the answer lies in a ruin called Naku Kubel, which is in Shatterscarp. So we've got to get there now. Though the city was saved, my research wasn't, which means the Steel Garrote knows just as much as we do. Wait. If they know as much as we do, they know to go to Shatterscarp too. Oh no. I've got to warn Temerity. Meet me in Thirdborn, all right? You can't miss it. It's the only bit of civilization in Shatterscarp, if you can call it that. I'll finish getting ready here and just meet you there.
Ugh, what a whirlwind. God, I love that tiny woman. You'll need both to survive the Living Lands, but at least you won't be lacking in good judgment.
Don't speak too soon.
I can promise you a good brain, but it doesn't always come with good judgment. For what it's worth, I vouch for Yardsley. She's a good friend and a bad influence. Right now, we could use both.
There's a gate to the north, which will take you to Shatterscarp. It's guarded by some of our best rangers. I'll make sure they grant you safe passage. May the gods protect you, Envoy.
Exploring the Living Lands with a friend. What more could I ask for?
Back to Shatterscarp, then.
Giada, thank goodness you're all right. We fought back the Steel Garrote, but I fear all we hurt was their pride. They'll come after us again.
At least now we can prepare. You faced oppression before and lived to tell of it.
Yes, but this flavor of oppression is different than it was in ages past. It has an urgency that frightens me.
I'll give the Steel Garrote something to fear.
You give me hope for the future, Envoy. Thank you.
Are you going to be all right?
Thirdborn will be a good home for our people. Anywhere is safer than Emerald Stair.
Yes, but it's you I'm worried about.
I won't lie to you, Giada. War is a young man's game, and this attack has rattled me to my core. I hope that I live long enough to see peace return to the Living Lands. That is all.
There will be peace again. Somehow.
Then I have hope, Envoy.
Don't be a stranger. I'm still your apprentice, after all.
Oh, I beg to differ. You have taken your education places I cannot follow. Be well, Giada. Wherever we go, our talents and our education go with us.
It's clear to me now. There is a threat in the Living Lands. But it is far greater than the Dream Scourge. You came to us for help, but you repaid it tenfold. I don't know how to repay you for thwarting the attack.
What? You'd do this for me? Really?
If I extended the offer, would you come back to us?
I don't know. Not until my business with the envoy is concluded. And some things would have to change around here.
Understood. So be it. If Giatta is willing to return, then I will allow it. Of course, the final decision is hers, and hers alone. Now, I'm sure you have other matters to attend to in the Living Lands, but let me know if you need anything else. Damn. I assumed they had inside help, but to think it came from one of our own rangers. Tell me, what's your interest in this matter? If she convinced an Adiran envoy to unmask an Adiran spy, clearly I'm not paying her enough. I appreciate the warning. If more Adirans were like you, maybe we wouldn't have to worry about the Steel Garrote. You what? It's been so long since I gave up hope. In his final days, he was fond of going out into the wilderness, and increasingly less fond of returning. Mother seemed to understand, but I never did. That was father. When he looked at you, he saw your potential, everything you could be, and none of the flaws. Maybe I'll visit him one day, when I find my courage. At least now I can. You could have left me wondering, but you didn't. Thank you, Godlike. From the bottom of my heart.
Ignacy, I'm sorry. Are you going to be all right?
I'll be fine, Giatta. You don't have to worry about me.
I'm not, but, you know, force of habit.
That won't be necessary. Thank you again.
I knew the Steel Garrote were up to no good.
No one ever plans anything nice in it.
Envoy, it's clear that no matter what happened, these people couldn't stay in Fior. Just not sure you did the right thing. These people won't survive long in a place like Thirdborn. Thirdborn is a rough town. They literally do their business inside the skeleton of a Leviathan. If you thought Paradise's docks were rough, just wait. Plus, they have a nogfish curry that will peel your tongue. Right, changing the subject. Thanks for talking. Envoy? Gods, I can't believe what's happening around here. Fior was attacked when we weren't looking. It's a miracle it's still there. Admit it. Of course I am. That's people's homes. Giada's home. And farms and so forth. Just because I don't like, or trust, or understand most of the people there doesn't mean I'd like to see it burn. I'm a grouch and a cynic, not a blessed Korba. Right, changing the subject. Pleasant dreams.
We should talk. What happened to Fior Messiverno could have been worse. A lot worse. But that doesn't mean the Living Lands is safe. If anything, it's more dangerous by far. And in my case, it's inevitable. No matter where Animancers go, someone is always trying to kill us. Nothing enrages the gods more than mortals in pursuit of knowledge. I doubt they know the meaning of the word. They seem a little out of touch. Listen to me. A failed Animancer lashing out at everything in reach. Even with all the tools at my disposal. I couldn't stop the Dream Scourge. And I couldn't save my people. How do I live up to my family's example when I can't even help myself? I wish I could. But that legacy is a debt I can never pay off. My parents died pursuing a better future for Animancers. I can't let their sacrifice be for nothing. And right now, that's all it is. I have some pondering to do. Let me know if there's anything else. Sending my people to Thirdborn. It's a good arrangement. They get a roof over their heads. The city gets Animancers, and everyone gets along. For once. We should try to harness that goodwill, or replicate it like an energy source. On the other hand, maybe not. Look, I know you didn't come to this island to help us. And yet you were here when others would have looked away. Despite everything that happened, it means a lot. Not a chance. You're going to accept my gratitude and enjoy every second of it. Well, onward to better things. If you need anything, you know where to find me. Pleasant dreams.